You may have seen many patients in your life fighting for their lives, never worrying about how expensive their treatments are. But have you ever seen a person who has everything, yet doesn't have the life they want, their desired looks, or even a normal personality? For them, no cure seems possible. But don't worry. We're going to introduce you to the top 15 real freak show stars with the most bizarre lives. Keep your eyes on the screen, because their stories are shocking, unforgettable, and unlike anything you've ever seen. Let's dive in. Number 15. Lydia Fairchild. Lydia Fairchild, born and raised in Washington State, became the center of a truly bizarre and almost unbelievable story in the early 2000s. After having 2 children, routine DNA testing, required for public assistance, revealed that she was genetically unrelated to her own kids. Imagine being told by science that your own children weren't biologically yours. The discovery led to a legal nightmare, with authorities initially accusing her of fraud. The truth, however, was far stranger. Lydia is a chimera, a person who carries 2 separate sets of DNA in her body. In her case, the DNA in her blood cells didn't match her reproductive organs, which were responsible for conceiving her children. Her case attracted attention from scientists and the media alike, sparking widespread fascination. Lydia had to undergo multiple DNA tests and court proceedings before her condition was fully understood and acknowledged. Number 14. Jeannie Eper. Jeannie Eper wasn't just missing legs. He turned that difference into a spectacle of skill and creativity. Known as the half-boy, he could walk on his hands, perform acrobatics, and execute feats that left audiences staring in awe. His talents weren't confined to the circus or sideshow. Eper appeared in Todd Browning's 1932 film Freaks, where his agility and stage presence made him unforgettable. Beyond performing, he was a prolific artist, crafting detailed miniature models, painting, and even experimenting with photography and magic tricks. Jeannie mastered every craft he touched, blending physical dexterity with artistic precision. His unique combination of talent and determination allowed him to carve a place in entertainment history that went far beyond mere curiosity. He became a symbol of human adaptability and ingenuity. Number 13. Harriet and Sarah Bowers. Harriet and Sarah Bowers were American conjoined twins born in the late 19th century, joined at the torso in a way that fascinated and shocked audiences alike. Unlike many medical anomalies that remained private, the Bowers sisters became traveling performers, touring extensively across the United States in circuses and sideshows. Their lives were a mix of spectacle and routine, navigating daily tasks, clothing, and performances in perfect coordination. Harriet and Sarah developed a remarkable synergy, moving, dancing, and interacting as a single unit, which amazed crowds while also demanding incredible patience and resilience from both. Despite the public curiosity surrounding them, they managed to maintain aspects of normalcy in their private lives, including personal hobbies and interactions beyond the stage. Their story illustrates not just physical uniqueness, but also the social dynamics of performing in an era when freak shows were a popular form of entertainment. Number 12. Tom Norman. Tom Norman was a British showman best remembered for managing Joseph Merrick, famously known as the Elephant Man. Norman himself was a seasoned performer and promoter in the 19th century sideshow circuit, adept at drawing crowds with unusual and sensational acts. He owned a shop in London where curiosities and human oddities were displayed, blending entertainment with a hint of the macabre. When Merrick first appeared under Norman's management, he was exhibited as a freak to paying audiences, but Norman treated him with a mixture of business pragmatism and personal respect, ensuring the man's daily needs were met while maximizing public interest. Beyond Merrick, Norman's career involved promoting tattooed men, dwarves, and other sideshow performers, making him a pivotal figure in Victorian entertainment. Though often criticized for exploiting human differences, Norman's role in Merrick's life also connected him to the broader story of how society viewed physical deformities at the time. Number 11. Annette Kellerman. Annette Kellerman dazzled the world not just as a swimmer, but as a true pioneer of aquatic performance. Hailing from Australia, she earned the nickname The Mermaid for her grace in the water and her penchant for performing in theatrical mermaid costumes. Kellerman's feats included swimming long distances, diving, and synchronized routines that blurred the line between sport and spectacle. Beyond performance, she challenged social norms. She advocated for practical, form-fitting swimsuits for women, famously facing arrest in 1907 for wearing one-piece swimwear deemed indecent at the time. Her influence extended to Hollywood, where she starred in silent films that showcased her aquatic talents and popularized the mermaid image for generations offstage. She authored books on swimming, diving, and fitness, cementing her role as a visionary in health and performance. Kellerman's blend of athleticism, showmanship, and daring fashion sense made her a revolutionary figure in both entertainment and sports. Number 10. Tattooed Lady, Myrtle Corbin. Myrtle Corbin, born in Texas in 1868, was known to the world as the four-legged woman. Her unusual anatomy was caused by a parasitic twin, resulting in a small pair of extra legs protruding from her pelvis. Rather than hiding her difference, Myrtle embraced it, becoming a celebrated sideshow performer in circuses and traveling exhibitions. Audiences were captivated not just by her physical uniqueness, but also by her poise, charm, and ability to move with surprising coordination despite her extra limbs. Off stage, she led a remarkably ordinary life for the era. She married and had children, managing the duality of her public persona and private family life. Myrtle's performances highlighted the blend of curiosity and spectacle that defined 19th century sideshows. Yet, she retained her dignity and personal agency in navigating the attention she received. Number 9. Jeannie Eper. Jeannie Eper is an American stuntwoman and actress whose name has become synonymous with extreme physical agility. Unlike many performers of her era, she gained fame in Hollywood, often doubling for major stars in action-packed films and television shows. Nicknamed the real-life contortionist, Jeannie's flexibility and acrobatic skill allowed her to execute stunts that seemed almost impossible. From high-flying flips to intricate fight choreography, born into a family of stunt performers, she grew up training rigorously, mastering everything from gymnastics to horseback riding. Beyond her film work, Eper also performed live demonstrations of her contortion abilities, wowing audiences with feats that combined strength, balance, and grace. Her career spans decades, with credits in major productions like Wonder Woman. Showcasing her as a pioneer among female stunt performers, Jeannie's life blends artistry, athleticism, and showmanship, proving that dedication and talent can transform the human body into a spectacle of possibility. Number 8. Bettie Paige. Bettie Paige, born in 1923 in Nashville, Tennessee, became an iconic figure in the 1950s American pop culture as a pinup model known for her striking black hair and playful, mischievous persona. While primarily celebrated for her modeling work in magazines and calendars, she also briefly participated in performance art and live shows that leaned into the unusual or risque, including sideshow-inspired acts for private events and variety shows. Her performances often included playful stunts, costuming, and burlesque-style routines that highlighted her charisma and daring personality. Bettie's combination of bold fashion choices, expressive posing, and willingness to embrace provocative, unconventional performance helped cement her status as the queen of pinups. Beyond the stage and camera, she maintained a private life marked by strong religious faith and later activism. Though she is most remembered today for her modeling, these unusual performances reveal a facet of her career that flirted with the theatrical and bizarre sides of mid-century entertainment. Let's move on. Number 7. Peter Robinson. Visitors at Victorian fairs often froze at the sight of Peter Robinson, whose body was astonishingly thin, so much so that his bones seemed to outline every movement he made. Standing on stage, he performed simple gestures and poses that accentuated his extreme frame, captivating crowds with a combination of precision and sheer shock value. Unlike performers who relied on elaborate costumes or props, Robinson's act was raw. His skeletal form alone created the spectacle. He traveled extensively across England and the United States, appearing in circuses, sideshows, and exhibitions, drawing audiences who had never seen anything like him. Off stage, he reportedly lived a quiet life, tending to ordinary routines that contrasted sharply with the eerie persona crafted for the stage. Whatever the setting, tent, theater, or street fair, Robinson's presence was unforgettable, leaving spectators talking long after the curtains closed. Number 6. George Constantinis. Crowds at 19th century exhibitions often marveled at George Constantinis, whose body was almost entirely covered in intricate tattoos. Born in Romania, he reportedly began his tattooing journey while traveling abroad, undergoing painful sessions that spanned years, resulting in elaborate depictions of animals, symbols, and geometric patterns. Unlike performers who relied on gimmicks, Constantinis's act was visual storytelling. He would display his body in carefully choreographed poses that highlighted the artistry of the ink as much as the curiosity of the audience. His tattoos became a living canvas, and visitors often examined the details closely, tracing the skill and patience required for such work. He toured extensively across Europe and America, appearing in fairs and sideshows, captivating audiences fascinated by human modification and exoticism. Constantinis's presence on stage was both mesmerizing and unsettling, leaving spectators awed by the sheer dedication it took to transform his skin into a permanent spectacle. Number 5. Madame Gustika. Intricate swirls of color crawled across Madame Gustika's skin, each tattoo telling a story of pain, patience, and artistry. From Central Europe, she turned her obsession with body art into a traveling career, appearing in sideshows and exhibitions where audiences couldn't look away. Unlike performers who relied on props or dramatic acts, her body itself was the spectacle. Flowers, animals, and symbolic motifs formed a living canvas she displayed with careful movement and poise. The tattooing process had taken years, each session grueling and demanding, yet the result was mesmerizing. Spectators studied the patterns closely, often incredulous that a human being could carry such elaborate designs. Gustika moved with confidence, orchestrating how her body was seen, making each performance part choreography, part visual narrative. The combination of endurance, artistry, and performance made her stand out in an era crowded with unusual acts. Get ready for number 4. Mademoiselle Marie-Louise. In 1905, Mademoiselle Marie-Louise began what would become a decade-long circuit across Europe, hopping between small towns and bustling cities alike. Unlike other entertainers of her era, she preferred quietly preparing her act in private rooms, focusing on her body art in painstaking detail before each show. Her tattoos were layered over years, sometimes requiring months of careful work for a single panel. Friends and fellow performers described her as methodical, almost obsessive, checking patterns in mirrors for hours. Oddly, despite her notoriety, she carried a collection of miniature tools and pigments with her on tour, tinkering during travel and perfecting designs whenever possible. One morning, she famously refused to leave a train carriage until the conductor let her finish outlining a tiny dragon on her forearm, proof that for Marie-Louise, the art was never truly complete. Number 3. Maggie Jennings. Maggie Jennings once reportedly spent an entire afternoon plucking stray hairs from a tiny potted bonsai she carried on tour, claiming it kept her hands busy while she thought her beard, thick and dark, made her one of the few bearded ladies performing in Europe and America during the 1880s, but she rarely leaned into the spectacle itself. Instead, she developed a quiet routine. Folding letters meticulously, sketching patterns in notebooks, and sometimes teaching younger performers how to balance props on their heads. When she appeared on stage, Maggie often held a small hand mirror, inspecting her beard with unusual care, almost as if the audience were incidental. Fellow performers described her humor as dry and sly. She could make a crowd laugh without a single exaggerated gesture. Evenings were spent in silence, listening to the wind against the canvas of the wagon, or humming tunes she composed herself. Her life, stitched together from odd habits and small rituals, had its own rhythm, entirely separate from the attention she received. Number 2. Mangram. A faint buzz from a tattoo machine mixed with the metallic scent of sterilized tools as Mangram tilted his head to test the symmetry of tiny horns embedded in his skull. The sharp angles caught sunlight like shards of glass, and a visitor once remarked that it looked almost like lightning frozen mid-strike. Friends say he drinks coffee slowly, careful not to jostle the delicate piercings threading his face and ears, while he sketches miniature designs on scraps of paper scattered across the floor. Some evenings, he experiments with subtle shapes hidden under clothing, only revealing them to those curious enough to ask. A faint echo of music drifts through the studio, and Liam hums along, adjusting angles, tweaking curves, and noting every detail in a small leather notebook. By the end of the day, a single drop of sweat on his temple seems almost poetic, resting just beneath a horn he shaped himself. Number 1. Vincenzo Perujia. A single rope swung violently above a crowded fairground as Vincenzo Perujia clung upside down, twisting midair with the precision of a gymnast and the flair of a performer who had rehearsed every microsecond countless times. Spectators gasped, not at one skill, but at the cascade of abilities he could chain together. Tightrope balancing, juggling flaming torches, and sudden flips that seemed to defy gravity. Perugia's hands bore calluses from years of gripping ropes, bars, and poles, each scar a quiet testament to practice and danger. Off stage, he carried a small leather pouch filled with miniature props and chalk dust, always ready to improvise an act if the audience's attention wavered. He rarely spoke about training, preferring to let the spectacle speak, though fellow performers noted his meticulous preparation and almost obsessive timing. In one famous incident, he reportedly caught a dropped hoop mid-flip, earning a round of applause that lasted longer than any act that evening. By the time he packed up for the night, a faint smear of chalk on his forearms marked the invisible trail of his artistry. Elephant men, bearded ladies, acrobats, and tattooed marvels, these freak show stars brought the bizarre, the extreme, and the extraordinary to life. Crowds gawked, gasped, and whispered as each performer revealed astonishing bodies, uncanny skills, or radical transformations, creating a vivid tapestry of oddities that thrilled, startled, and mesmerized audiences across generations. Smash that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to join us for more strange and fascinating stories. Your support keeps the channel alive, and we appreciate every viewer. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Thanks for watching and being with us till here.